So I don't normally ever come on here and post anything except of my dog because he's absolutely gorgeous. But I am extremely frustrated being a full-time employed person living in Florida and not being able to afford to live. I have spent my whole fucking day off trying to find a, more affordable place to live because I can't afford fucking $1,300 a month in rent and then fucking a $650 car note and then $300 in fucking insurance and then you got utilities and it's either I eat or I pay my bills, and then even then it's like, okay, well, which bill's gonna be fucking late this month? And I'm so fucking sick of it. Like, all these fucking apartment complexes and realtors and even private renters, fuck you. Fuck you so fucking hard. And I mean that with everything in me. Fuck you. I, nor anybody else, should be working 60 plus hours a fucking week and not be able to fucking live. I'm about to crash the fuck out. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me losing my fucking mind. I don't know. But I'm about to lose my shit because I just can't take it.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by. Go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss any of our deep dive breakdowns, all right? Today, we're talking about a topic that's hitting millions of Americans right in the guts. Now, Americans are working harder than ever and still going broke in Trump's America. And why? So let's get into it. Now, imagine checking in every single day, putting on overtime, juggling side hustles, sacrificing weekends, and still watching your bank account look like practicing minimalism, right? So welcome to the current economic reality where hard work doesn't guarantee stability anymore, and where the so-called booming economy feels like it's booming only for the top 1%.
Y'all, I'm parked in front of Dollar Tree because I'm about to go in there and get some essentials. But before that, I honestly just had like the only crash out because I had stopped to get gas, right? And I'm really in a place in my life where I'm really budgeting my finances because I just don't got it like that. I'm in a real crunch, survival, financial fucking rut. And I know it's not forever, but this is just the chapter I'm in. And as much as I try to be positive sometimes, like, it's really hard. It's really hard to be in a financial, like, survival mode when you don't know what your next move is. You don't know where your next resource is coming from because it fucking makes you hyper vigilant. And like, when you're hyper vigilant, like, you can't relax, your brain can't shut off, and you can't stop worrying, and that shit just drains all your energy. Like, having to worry all the time drains your energy. And I understand that, like, people are like, oh, pray, and don't get me wrong, I pray, but when I'm about to take a shit and I don't know when the next fucking slice of paper toilet is coming from, like, that's real life 3D shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like it's a really difficult place to be in. And so with that being said, I had $25 in like my Apple Cash card, and so I was like, all right, bet, I'm gonna go to the gas station, I'm gonna get $15 of gas, and then the rest, like, I'm gonna take to get like a little bit of essentials at Dollar Tree. And when I asked him for 15 regular, he had put gas in my car and it charged my whole shit. And I just stood there because I'm not trying to crash out in front of this man, but I'm like, fuck. Like, I literally don't have anything else. Like, my regular account is negative. Like, fuck. I have no toilet tissue. I have no, like, I need stuff for the house. Like, I don't have water. Like, I don't, oh my God. So he was like, oh, like, it charges you temporarily, like, it's gonna refund you. So I literally drove off and I parked on this random street and I just cried. Like, I let it all out. Like, it wasn't even one of those like boohoo cries. It was just like one of those silent cries where like the tears just come down and you're just like overwhelmed. You just shut down. And within a couple of minutes, like, I got $11 back. Thank God. And so with that being said, I'm about to go into the Dollar Tree and I'm about to get, whatever essentials I can with that. But y'all, this is not okay. Like, this is not normal. And I share this not because I want to give a sob story, not because, you know, I'm asking for help or anything like that, because honestly, I'm a person that has a very hard time receiving help, and that's not even like my gist. It's just to shine a light for other people that are going through this shit, because I know that I'm not one of one. And it's not even like, oh, you can tell somebody like get a job. Most of the jobs right now, most of the jobs are not paying enough for you to cover rent, for you to cover bills, and for you to be able to live. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's insane. And I don't know where anybody else lives, but I live in New Jersey. It's super fucking expensive on like the Northeast. Like, it's the fact that other people live like this, because like I said, I know I'm not one of one. This shit is insane. And the fact that like it's only gonna get worse and this economy is only getting worse, like, I understand, like I said, this is just a chapter. Like, I'm in my last year of grad school, so I know I'm gonna have a career next year. But the fact that like not many people are in my position and probably, you know, like have kids, have way more responsibilities than I do, and they have to live like this, it's fucking horrible. And it's depressing. And I think a big issue with like mental health and depression in this country is probably because people can't take care of themselves, and people know that. It makes you feel like a second-class citizen. It makes you feel like shit. It makes you feel like a bad person, and it makes you feel like you're not enough, and that's a shitty feeling. And it just makes me sad. It makes me sad that as a country we advance as much as we have, but there's so many people that are like falling between the cracks, and I don't know if anything will ever be done about that, you know what I'm saying? But it's just, I had to share because this shit is hard, and if you're going through this, I'm really sorry, and honestly, I wouldn't wish this on nobody.
Living in America right now feels like a punishment. You wake up already behind, you go to work just to stay broke, and you watch the cost of everything rise while your paycheck doesn't move an inch. Groceries are a luxury, rent is robbery, healthcare is a joke, and somehow we're the ones blamed for not budgeting better. People are working 2-3 jobs and still choosing between food or gas. Families are crammed into apartments because buying a house became a fantasy. You can't afford to get sick, you can't afford to rest, you can't afford to exist. But they keep telling us the economy is strong. Strong for who? Because it sure as hell isn't the people doing the work. We're out here treading water while billionaires build rockets, politicians trade stocks, and corporations raise prices just because they can. We were promised opportunity, we got survival. And what makes this worse is watching people blame themselves. Like somehow you failed because you can't afford a 1-bedroom anymore. Like you didn't do enough, when the truth is the math just stopped adding up years ago. They told us to work harder, but never told us they'd change the finish line. This isn't a country full of lazy people, it's a country full of exhausted ones. Simple as that.
I am 48 years old and I am broke. When I say broke, I mean $0 broke, no money. And I am burnt out to the core, and I'm done living like this. I have worked in group homes and nonprofits for over 25 years now. I've poured my heart into my job, gave it everything I got, but I'm burnt out. I don't have any more to give. Between rising costs, bills, broken appliances, I hit my breaking point. I knew I had to try something different. If you're at your breaking point, comment enough. See you later.
What the fuck are we doing, man? Is this how good it's supposed to be? No anymore.
So I saw a post the other day that said Houston is now one of the poorest cities in America. And at first glance, I ain't gonna lie, it definitely made sense. Because the job market here is fucked up. Let's just be real. You can literally work full time and still be motherfucking broke. The average job does not pay enough to cover rent, groceries, bills, and a damn emergency. When you actually compare the cost of living to what these jobs pay, it just don't add up. They're literally asking people to survive on math that doesn't make sense. But on the flip side, here's what people don't talk about. Houston is one of the most entrepreneur-friendly cities in the country. This city is flooded with opportunity if you know how to play the game. Low startup costs, massive industries, tech, real estate, oil. Doors are literally wide open if you have resources and connections, and obviously strategy. That's why you'll see broke neighborhoods just a few blocks away from billion-dollar developments. Houston is not poor, the people are just underpaid. The system is set up to keep workers hustling just to get paid. Pennies on a dollar. while entrepreneurs, investors, and resourceful people thrive. If you're dependent on a paycheck in Houston, you are stuck in a cycle that was not meant for you to thrive in. But if you learn how to fix your credit, start a business, invest in real estate, or just invest in something, the city can literally reward you overnight. So yeah, the photo was right, but it was also wrong. Houston is one of the poorest cities if you do measure it by wages and jobs. But Houston is one of the richest cities if you measure it by opportunities and entrepreneurship. The difference is resources and mindset.
Hey, what's up, America? People struggling even though they're working harder than they ever have in their lives. So I think a lot of people here in America are starting to figure out that even making $100,000 a year isn't gonna cut it, and everybody's still struggling. There's only so many fucking hours you can work before you run out of actual living time. You can only work so much before it starts interfering with just basic feeding yourself, pissing in a toilet, and sleeping. And that's what's happening with America. The burden on the American people for basic survival is now just simply too much for the average person. The money's not worth enough, people aren't making enough, and the cost of shit is just too high. Doesn't matter what it is, the cost is just too high. I mean, there's absolutely nothing that's cheap right now. People don't make enough money, and the value's not worth it. So you wonder why the younger generation doesn't want to work really super hard. It's because even if they do, they see that there's no way whatsoever to do everything that the generations before them could do, like buy a house, own a car, go on vacation. The younger generation already realizes with inflation and stagnant wages, if they work 96 hours a week, they won't be able to afford shit still. They'll have to get a minimum of 2 and/or 3 jobs and do that until they retire, and then after they retire, they'll just simply fucking die. And they'll get robbed on the way out for healthcare costs as well, and funeral costs, and taxes, and every other goddamn thing. So people aren't lazy in America, people aren't stupid in America, they're just giving up. They're just simply giving up. It's too fucking difficult. You tell everybody you need at least 100 grand a year, you finally make it, then you need 170. By the time you get there, now you need 250,000 a year. It's a never-ending goalpost move, so what's the fucking point of trying? Just to keep alive and not starving to death? Well, that fucking sucks. That's not a life. No, that's just basic survival, getting back shots financially from major corporations. So you need to lower the burden on the American people. It's not fun out here and it sucks. And it was never meant to be fun, but you can at least give people some type of upward mobility and gain. This is dog shit.
How's everybody surviving? I get paid bi-weekly and we are a family of 4. We have 2 kids. How are y'all surviving? Because I'm not. I got paid today and it's gone. Goes toward the mortgage, cell phone bill, gas and electric, garbage, everything gone. Between insurance, car insurance between my husband and I, everything gone. And then I have to go to the grocery store. This isn't even factoring in groceries for a family of fucking 4. So imagine how, if it's like every month, it's like, do we go do a big load haul of groceries or do we pay our mortgage? Like I can't do both. And my husband works 50 hours a week. I work 40 hours a week. We can't do both. So like, how are you doing it? The people that don't have kids are barely surviving. I am not surviving. And I get paid bi-weekly. And people are like, oh, getting paid bi-weekly is so much better because then when you get paid more. No, it doesn't matter because all my fucking bills get taken out at the same every month. I've tried to change it till the end of the month. It still doesn't matter. It still doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter when you have your bills taken out. Your money is fucked. Your money is gone. There's nothing you can do. You just have to fucking ride on this floating motherfucking rock and spend, $150 on 4 products at the goddamn grocery store. I can't. I literally cannot. I don't know how people do it. And unless you're a rich elite, we're fucked. So I hope everybody on this floating rock fucking screams like I do. And we can all fucking scream together because I just don't collectively know how I can continue on with a recession. I've lived through one recession. I physically can't do it now. And you can call me dramatic. I don't really give a fuck. I'm gonna crash the fuck out. I cannot survive like this. I can't.
So let's start by addressing the elephant in the room. Why are Americans working more hours, taking on more gigs, picking up more shifts, yet falling deeper into financial stress than ever? Well, the answer is layered, and trust me, it starts way beyond just bad budgeting, right? One is wages and keeping up, not even close. So, under Trump's current policies, wages have stalled for many working class Americans. Yes, employers are hiring, but they are hiring for low wage jobs that don't match the rising cost of living. Now, the results are that people are employed but still broke. Now, this is the era of the working poor. People with full time jobs qualify for food stamps. Folks with degrees are living paycheck to paychecks. And workers are covering two part time jobs because one job can't even cover rent. And speaking of rent, number two is that the cost of living is on cruise control, straight upward. Now, inflation didn't magically disappear with political slogans. Food prices up, utilities up, housing up, healthcare up so high it's basically a luxury subscription plan at this time, right? Now, meanwhile, the average paycheck it's like it's taking a casual stroll while expenses are sprinting. Now, Americans aren't lazy. No, they're not. They aren't unwilling. They are being asked to do Olympic level financial gymnastics with child sized economic tools, right? Now, three being that Trump's economic policies favor corporations, not workers. Now, supporters love to argue that Trump boosted the economy. But what they fail to mention is who the economy was boosted from. Now, corporate tax cuts, yep. Deregulation that padded CEO pockets, absolutely. Now, stock market highs, sure, but how many workers own enough stock for that to matter? That's what you should ask yourself. Now, meanwhile, middle class families get crumbs. If that's, if they get at all. Now, these policies widened the gap between the rich and everyone else. Billionaires became multi-billionaires, while regular Americans became experts in stretching ramen noodles into government meals, right? Now, four is that job security. What's job security? Now, even if you do have a job, you're not safe. Companies are cutting benefits, slashing hours, and outsourcing temps, outsourcing temps, contractors, and gig workers now make up a huge part of the workforce. Now, people who work full time but don't receive full time protection, right? Now, a strong economy isn't about how wealthy the wealthy are. It's about how stable the average worker is, and right now, stability is as rare as affordable rent in a major city, right? Five, healthcare costs are draining wallets faster than anything else. So, a single hospital visit can wipe out someone's saving. A prescription can cost more than a car note. Under Trump's direction, protection for affordable healthcare have weakened, meaning more out-of-pocket expenses and less coverage for people who actually need it. Now, you can be the hardest working person alive, but if one illness sends you spiraling into debt, what kind of strong economy is that? Six is that debt is becoming a normal part of life. Student loans, car loans, medical loans, credit cards, everyday Americans are buried under debts they can't escape. And instead of policies targeting relief, we see more pressure on workers to just work hard as if working hard were ever the problem. Seven, the gig economy illusion. Now, people romanticize the gig economy like it's the ultimate freedom. But for many Americans, gig work isn't a choice, it's survival. DoorDash drivers working 12-hour days, Uber drivers sleeping in their cars between shifts, freelancers juggling five clients to barely scrape by. That isn't freedom, that's desperation. 8. The psychological tool. Now, let's not ignore the mental side of all of this. People are exhausted. Burnout is at all-time high. Anxiety over bills, rent, medical emergencies, and job security is destroying families emotionally, mentally, and physically. A nation doesn't thrive when its people are drowning in stress while trying to keep their heads above water. No. So here we are, Americans working harder than ever before, yet somehow going broke faster than ever. Now, this isn't an individual failure. This isn't laziness. This is a system that's failing its people, a system shaped and influenced by political decisions, short-sighted policies, and economic priorities that value corporate growth over human well-being. Now, maybe the real question isn't why are Americans broke? Maybe it's why is the government enforcing, or is the government comfortable letting hardworking people fall through the cracks? Why is survival becoming a luxury? Why is working 40 plus hours no longer enough? And most importantly, who is this economy really designed for? So let's talk about it in the comment section. Do you think this economic situation is intentionally or just poor leadership? Is it intentional or just poor leadership? Are Americans working more out of necessity or out of the fear of falling behind? Now, what changes do you think would actually help the working class? Drop your thoughts, say in the comments. I want to hear from you. I want to hear from every corner of the spectrum what your thoughts are. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, comment, and please subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, credit belongs to original creators.